Morning, everyone. I'm Ms. Rachel with the Antioch Public Library District, and I'm here today with our newest installment of Mad Scientist Club. Today, we're going to be learning about bubbles. We're going to find out why bubbles always come out round. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our worksheet, which you should have gotten when you picked up your kit. If you didn't, that's okay. You can just write down on a sheet of paper the shape you're going to make your bubble wand into and your observations and your hypothesis. If you remember from last time, a hypothesis is something that we believe is going to happen based on our understanding of the material. Which you might not know about bubbles, and as I'm telling you this, I'm going to open up my bubble jars, which are a little different from yours, and I'm going to pour them into the cup provided in our Mad Scientist Club kit. We're going to see what happens when we make a square bubble wand. Now, if you'll notice, you've got quite a few different shapes that you can explore on your worksheet, and if you want to explore them all, you can. You're going to make a hypothesis as to what will happen when we make a square wand and what will happen when we make a round wand and what's going to happen with all the different shapes. You got 3 of these jars of bubbles, and I apologize, it's going to take me quite a few minutes here to dump this all out. So while we're doing that, I'm going to talk to you about bubbles. You've probably noticed that bubbles always seem to come out round whenever you blow them, and that most bubble wands are either round or a very long oval shape, which is kind of round. What you may not know is that bubbles will form that shape under a lot of different circumstances. And I did not pause my video to open up the aluminum foil in here. I'm going to pause for just a second so I can get that out of the way, because I don't have enough material to talk to you about bubbles while I'm opening all these things. So hang on one sec. We are back, and I have filled my cup with bubbles. The 3 containers have filled it about a quarter of the way up, maybe about a third. So that's a pretty good amount. Hopefully it's soapy enough and we'll be able to make bubbles when we try to blow them. What you're going to do is follow along and make a hypothesis about what happens when we use different shaped bubble wands. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to demonstrate with a rectangle, because that is not on your list of things to make a hypothesis about. So we do not know what shape it's going to make. But I suspect, based on what I know about bubbles, that even though the wand is a rectangle, it's going to be a circle. So I'm just going to draw a circle in here. And you can do that. You can write down your notes. You can do whatever you think is best. The only thing we're trying to do here is make sure that we all understand what's happening. And I'm going to make this just a little stiffer, because when I put it together, it did not form. It looks like it's going to be a little wiggly. Oh, fun. Well, let's just get everything together so that the bubble wand. Alright, so that makes a rectangle. Now we're going to soak it in our bubbles. Now it is November, so you may not want to go outside to blow bubbles. Just make sure before you do this experiment that you talk to an adult in your house and you set up your table so that it doesn't make a big mess. I don't know if you saw those bubbles come out, but they came out very round. The reason for that is actually very interesting. Bubbles are made out of basically the same thing as water. It's just water mixed with a little bit of soap and maybe some kind of sugar or sugar syrup like glycerin. Now what happens is that water bonds with the soap, and the soap makes the water a little bit stretchy, and all the water molecules push together, and so instead of coming out in the shape of the wand, they come out in the same shape, the simplest shape they can make, which is a circle or a round bubble. That's why when you pour bubble bath in the tub or you blow bubbles, anytime you try to make a bubble, it's going to come out round if it's coming out of a 2D wand. However, I have given you quite a few choices here, and we're going to try something exciting. We're going to make a 3D shape. That means that it's going to be the same shape in every single direction. And so hang on here, because these twisty things do not want to go together now that my hands are all soapy. So we're going to take that, and we're going to connect it here, and we're going to make a square here. And we're going to see what happens when we make a cube like this. And so we've got, so far, just the two pieces. And then we're going to make another one here, because once you give it 4 squares and you give it space so that all of the molecules in the water and soap are going in the same direction at the same time, something exciting is going to happen. So I want you to write down in your hypothesis square for cube wand what you think you're going to get when you blow bubbles with a cube-shaped wand. And so we go here. And I did not make the best cube available, but that's okay, because all it needs to do is to form this shape. And you may need to trim some of your pipe cleaners here. Sorry, I forgot the word for a second there. Got a cube here. And it's not a perfect cube, but it will be a 3D shape, and hopefully that will be good enough to make a square bubble. At least that's what I've heard is supposed to happen. If we have all 4 walls of the bubble wand blowing in the same direction, in the same shape, it should work out. So let's dip our cube in the water here. And hold on one second here, because I am feeling like, alright, that is not quite a cube. We need one more line here. And around here to reinforce it and make sure we got squares going in every direction. Oh, and now this one's come undone. Now I am concerned that there's not going to be enough bubble juice to get it in every square. Oh, we did it. So now, oh, but that one collapsed. So you're going to need to pour your bubbles out into a different shaped cup, into a big bowl. You may need to add more water and soap, and that is okay. But I think, oh no, they still came out round. I guess my shape wasn't quite enough a 3D cube. But what you're going to want to do is build it so that you have 4 squares, and then you're going to connect all 4 squares together to make a box. And when you do that, you will be able to blow square bubbles. Well, have fun, make some observations, try some different shaped bubble wands, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.